Okay, we're back. We're back, and we're not counting to 100 this time, or 400, because we're not actually doing that. Sorry, it was an April Fool's joke.
I'm
Oh man,
disappointed. I wanted that.
boom, wrecked. How does that make you feel, listener? Yeah.
That's what I thought. We can hear you. We can hear you judging us.
Oh man, they hate us now because we're not doing what we said we were gonna do.
That's right. But we are in control. We control the podcast. We don't care about none of.
Welcome to the internet. Follow up. Last episode, I talked about iTunes and how iTunes is not going to be a thing, like ever, because we haven't thought of an idea, and we'll just have the mega download.
Get out of here, Apple.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've since found a solution, and by we I mean me. And we are going to be hosting the podcast on Libsyn or I don't remember what it stands for. Whatever. It will be in the description of all of the podcasts, and you can go check it out. You can download full episodes on there, and those will connect directly to iTunes and other podcast apps. If you copy our RSS feed URL and paste it in there, you will get the feed directly to your podcast app. So it's pretty cool.
I even know about this. What is this? Lisbon? That's the capital of Portugal?
No, not Lisbon. Libsyn. LIBSYN.com. Libsyn. It stands for something. I think Liberated Syndication. Don't quote me on that.
No, I got that.
Unless I'm right. If I'm right, then quote me on it, because I sound like a super smart guy. So.
Oh, that's fun. Hold on. Exclusive on-air call.
Yes.
Oh, man. No, I don't know how to tell you this, but
oh man.
They found us.
They found us? Frick.
Yes.
Oh man.
Gotta shut down the podcast.
We have to shut down everything. Turn off your computers. Wear your tin hats.
Get your VPNs up.
Yeah.
Go find you.
They will find us. They'll find all of us. Especially you, listener. Especially
you. Yeah. Right now, we got a wiretap directly into your device from listening to this. Yeah, we can do that. I know.
I did not know that. Man, we're full of mysteries, we are.
Aren't we?
Nomich and Super... Yes, we are. We're full of all of the mysteries. So, it's the most riveting podcast on the internet. That's an actual quote from Nomich. So, speaking of the Libsyn, or Liberated Syndication, I really hope that's what it stands for. Because it costs monies. It costs a monthly payment to keep this up. So, we have started a Patreon for our podcast. So if you would be willing to go down to the show notes / the description and support us on there, that would be awesome. We don't have very many rewards as of yet, but we have some cool ones planned if they end up working. So if this whole Patreon thing ends up working out, then you guys are going to get some pretty dope rewards.
See, perfect. And even better, you might be thinking, oh, yeah, they're asking for money and all they're doing is a podcast. But listen. We count as a non-profit organization. And you know what we can do? We can write off all of that money that you gave to us on taxes, okay?
Taxes.
And because it's non-profit, it's charity. So you can go around telling people that you're giving to charity, because technically all the money we're using is going straight back into it. This is for the community. It's non-profit. It's a charity. Give us your money.
Give us your money because it's going towards a good cause. This podcast that you love so much, and to show your love, give us your money. Like seriously, it's a yeah. So if you support us, you could potentially affect future podcasts. Doesn't that sound amazing? Go down into the description, see the reward, see if you want it. If you do, give us a ring. There we go. That's our Patreon. Ooh. Beautiful. Now, moving on to other items of follow-up. In the previous episode, we were looking at hate comments Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So remember I said rubbish in in my comment reply back to this hate comment?
Like,
Okay. In regards to this, I used to say rubbish because I thought it was cool because I'm homeschooled. But rubbish was just one of the words that I say. Like in my videos, it's everywhere. In older videos, if you want to hunt them down, you may. I don't care. They're on there for a reason, so you can go see my failure. So said rubbish in a lot of my videos and in real life. I've since stopped. But what I wanted to talk about specifically is the fact that I have catchphrases like in real life. I don't know if anybody else does this, but do you do this, Tendo, ever? Like yeah. So like last year for such a big chunk of last year, like most of last year, if not all of last year, and like half of the year before that, I used to say at least 7. So if there was anything that had to be with numbers, I'd just say at least 7.
At least 7.
At least 7. And then a long time ago, I used to say flamingos, like a lot. I don't know. It's. Do you have any catchphrases now? If you.
It's not. It used to be a lot of catchphrases, but more. It's now just like I start explanations with a certain phrase, or I'll always end like a conversation a certain way, or like there's certain words in my vocabulary that I completely overuse or misuse, like ironically. I know what ironic means, but I completely misuse it just for the sake of, I don't know, because I think it makes me sound smart or something like that. You know, do you have words like that?
Well, kind of. I don't. There's words that I use a lot, but I don't usually. They're usually nonsense words. Like I said, flamingo, and I said peacock a lot. Sandwich was also a big one. So they're not like those types of deal. I think one that I have now is I say I'm proud of you. So I say that after like everything. Like someone does something, I'm like, I'm
Anytime
proud of you.
anyone does something, I'm proud of you.
Yeah. That's what the thing is. These become catchphrases that I just do automatically. So it's pretty great. I'm excited to see what my next one is gonna be. But I don't know. I'm interested because nobody else that I know seems to do that. But I'm glad to know that you kind of do that.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of has those things, and it's just the way they're conditioned by the people that they talk to, and a way to find, like, just to make yourself unique without really realizing it.
Yeah, like in the back of your mind, like subconsciously, you're unique, and your brain wants to be unique. Actually, I don't think that's necessarily true, but okay. Again, back at it. Perfect follow up, Tendo.
Oh yeah.
We're speeding through it. 8 minutes. 8 minutes in. And
Right.
What?
No, nothing. Sorry, I was blowing my nose. That's probably why Noah was waiting for me to talk, but I wasn't talking. It was because you probably cut that out. But yeah.
I can cut that out if you want. You know what? I'll keep it in if you want me to.
Go ahead.
I'll keep it in. It makes us feel more human.
It's authentic. It's authentic when you get to hear their bodily functions.
Yeah. Look, we're so human. We're so organic. Support us on Patreon. We're relatable. Our first discussion topic is copyright.
Oh boy. We wanted to discuss YouTube and copyright strikes on videos, fair use in general, like opinions we have on copyright, things we're for, things we're against. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
There is a lot of stuff. You're right. So, as we briefly discussed last time, we discussed copyright strikes on our own videos. I've only had like 2, but that was my videos I instantly took down. So I currently don't have any strikes on my channel because I'm a great human being.
I think I have like 3 notices, and they're all from songs. And 2 of them are from when I first started the channel. I didn't understand anything, so I was a little baby boy. And so I just like unlisted them because I didn't need people to see that anyway. And then one of them is on a song that I intentionally put in a video and knew would get copyright notice, but I used YouTube's automatic filtering system, which says that it can take out the audio. And so I used that, and then it said, yep, the music's gone. It's all good. And you listen to the video, it still sounds, it's just slightly quieter because it's an automatic system, and there's other audio on top of it. And so I'm like, I think I'll just leave that. So if anyone actually manually goes through my videos and like finds that, and they're like a part of a company, they can like, send me a strike, and I'll have permissions taken away. But you know what? For whatever reason, I did that, and I've left it like that, and now that it's on the podcast. So I mean, if you guys want free money, sue me.
Oh man. Now it's immortalized in this podcast. So
yeah,
that's never going to leave you. Ever.
Ever.
So I got a copyright strike. Oh, man.
Yeah.
The rights for my coffee.
Yeah,
Copyright
can't lose this.
strike. A while ago, 2 April Fool's Days ago. 2015 April Fool's Day. I uploaded a video that contained a Rickroll in it.
Oh.
That it contained the whole video. In the video, it was a draw my life, and said, guys, today I'm gonna celebrate this milestone of subscribers. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like 500 or something. I'm like, I'm gonna do a draw my life, and then it does that retro screech, is like, like. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So then it's like, oh, psych! I'm not actually driving my life. Whoa! And then all of a sudden, Rick Astley comes on. And he's like,
ba-doo, 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 ba-doo.
Do. Oh man, we need to stop singing this because we're gonna get taken down for copyright.
I know, our singing's that good.
Yeah. Okay. So we're good. We're good though. So that, and then it got taken down. And then I was like, what is this? And then he was like, copyright. And I was like, wait a second, you can't do this. And so what I did was I edited the video. Like I took that one down, re-edited it with it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I put a text over it, and it said, I do not own the rights to the song. Links in the description to the original video.
Like the awkwardest pseudo Rickroll I've ever heard of.
He's just plastered on top of it. If I played like 1 second or 2 seconds of the video, maybe I wouldn't have gotten a strike, but I didn't. I just played the video in its entirety. Yeah. And that didn't go down well. It still got it got taken down for some reason. And so I was like, okay, I've got this. This is the perfect move right here. So what I did was I took the audio out from the video and I replaced it with an 8-bit version of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
No way!
And then I took that, still with the text over it, saying, I don't own the rights to this song. Links in the description to the original video and song. And I uploaded that, and for some reason it still got taken down. That's pretty odd, isn't it? I don't know. It's insane. Some people, right? Some people.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, do you have anything like any experiences like that? Quite like that? Or
here's the thing. I like with as far as animation goes or just like visuals, I love to use music. Music is like I like making animations and stuff, and a lot of what fuels me is like a song or like an emotion in a song that I'm trying to get, or like there's a certain joke and there's a perfect song that I need. So I've actually become like obsessed with like non-copyright music, and I actually have a list on my computer. It's a text document that has a list of 200 something songs that I've listened to from the YouTube library, and I have its name and then my description of it and what I would use it for.
That's awesome.
And like once you do this, and I'm also subscribed to the YouTube audio library channel, and I listen to every song that comes out. And this way, when I finally, have a video and I'm like, oh, I want to use this song, but it's copyrighted, I can go in here and I can find like an exact like parallel of that song that I can use free of copyright, and it's perfect. It's so amazing, and I love people that make Creative Commons music. They are gods among us.
Yeah, quite literally. Quite literally. Okay, not quite literally.
Not quite literally.
Quite metaphorically. But that's okay. I did not know that, Tendo. That's awesome. The only thing that would make that better is the fact that if he was on a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets are amazing.
I should do that.
Have you played around with much spreadsheeting, Tendo?
I mean, I understand how it works. It never occurred to me because it was always just for myself. But I kind of realized if I could, because right now it's literally just the name and then in parentheses I have the description. But if I put that in a spreadsheet and maybe like shared it with some other YouTubers or just some other people, oh my gosh, I could get pretty awesome library. You could like search by like keyword of description.
Yeah, you could have genres. You could, Tendo. Well, so spreadsheeting is amazing. I know this is a tangent, like a very tangent, seeing as we were talking about copyright. Now we're talking about
good.
Spreadsheets
Are great.
Spreadsheets are so good. I used to like just like I don't know, play with them a little bit, and then like 2 years ago, and I touched a spreadsheet once. But this last year, I took a careers class, and we had to make a budget using a spreadsheet. And that was when I found my love for spreadsheeting. And now I use it for so many things. I use it for things that don't even need spreadsheets. Like, I don't know. Spreadsheets are great. I love spreadsheets so much, and they're so fun to play around with. So, listener, if you have the ability to play around with a spreadsheet sometime, just do it. Make your dreams come true.
I did not know you were a spreadsheet fanatic.
Oh, I didn't know that either until I actually tried spreadsheeting.
You are passionate about your spreadsheets. I respect that.
Yeah, spreadsheeting is like the best thing that has ever happened to Microsoft Office. Let's be real. Word is nice, but like Excel, wow, like crazy. Okay, I think I'm exalting it way too much there, but it's fine.
No.
It's fine.
I agree. I guess I never just saw it, but yeah, it's a perfect way to organize things. I've used them. One time I've used them in my practical life is for randomizers. Like if I want to randomly pick like a name or a combination of two things. So yeah, they're pretty cool for that. What else were we gonna talk about? We were talking about copyright, right?
Yeah, copyright. So I think a big question is, do you think copyright should exist? Or would it be better if like it didn't exist and anybody could use anything they wanted?
Okay. I love talking about this because I have two sides, and I'm very very on the fence with it, because like on one hand, I love parodies, I love satire, I love people being able to point out problems with things that exist and satirize them and bring into light the reality of something that may try to be very serious, but in reality has maybe some darker or some more humorous intentions. I love parodies and satires. What I don't like is this is probably something I shouldn't say.
Is it controversial?
It's a little controversial, especially for our audience.
Perfect, beautiful. It's welcome to the podcast.
I think
it's on Patreon.
Borrowing tunes, borrowing melodies and tunes from other songs and putting it under parody. So here, I'll make an example. One Direction at some point, I'm trying to think of what it is. I think it was like Best Song Ever or something like that. They were getting a lot of heat because the tune was taken directly from another artist that was popular a good 20, 30 years ago. You can fact check me. I'm probably a little bit wrong, but you get the gist of it. And so they get a lot of heat for that. But you can go on YouTube and you can find all these, and this isn't a popular opinion, I'll explain myself, but like you could find parodies with completely opposite topics of what the original song was, but they use the original tune. That way they don't have to come up with their own original music. And that's fine if you don't have any, like, you don't know a lot about music. It's easy to create it. But when they piggyback off of the success of the original song, like when you have something as big budget as like a Minecraft parody, where you have like tons of people working on this animation that are getting paid, and you have like these professional vocalists and everything, it is no longer, oh hey, I don't understand music enough to create my own original work. It's, hey, by putting this in the title, we can get more people to click on it because they identify with the original song.
I think that is definitely a problem with parodies.
Right.
Trying to piggyback off the success, as you said, which I think I think we briefly went over this in the second episode, that people who are just doing YouTube to get money is kind of sad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if they're, I don't know. I think I said you do you. I don't remember, but it was something along the lines of that. But you said that it was a little unpopular opinion, and I can see why, because I kind of disagree when you, or actually, well, I agree when you say that people think that because they don't have artistic or like musical talent, that they can just, like, I don't know, take their original, like somebody else's original piece of music and take that, add lyrics to it, and like mix it up a little bit, and that it sounded like you were saying that that's okay. Do you think that that's like fine?
Yes,
or like,
I'm okay. Like the thing
okay.
is, I'm not sure on my opinion. Right now I'm okay with everything. I'm not saying the people who do, like do it with the ability to make their own original work as it's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm still very on the fence because I don't know where to draw the line, because because you understand that like you can find the instrumental track of any song super easily now.
Yeah,
and
just
if you
go to
don't know
YouTube and
how
type in instrumental.
if you don't know how to create your own music, and you want to you have something to say, or you have a funny little bit that you think would work best as song, then that makes sense, and I think that's okay. But I was just saying like how when things are parodying only for the sake of writing off of the success, when they could just as easily be an original work. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That's not exactly what I thought you were saying, but I'm glad you cleared that up. So, in regards to that, there's a series on the internet called Everything is a Remix. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't. I have heard of it, though.
It's really, really good. It's very short. I think all 3 or 4, I don't know. All the episodes are only 35 minutes. 35 minutes in total, and he has a supercut of all of them edited together. So I will link that in the description. But in the first or second episode, he talks about how music has been piggybacked off of a bunch of other songs, and he places the songs, like the music clips, side by side. And so we're like one after the other, so he shows how the beat is like exactly the same, and like the melody and the music is the same. But he goes through this, and it's an entire series on copyright, and it is so good, and I would highly suggest it. They go through,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, they go through movies, music. There's like 1 or 2 other things, and I can't remember right now, but link in the description. It's on Vimeo. It's great. And there's another video by Every Frame a Painting, which I know you like because we discussed that the second episode. So in that, he talks about the Marvel Symphonic Universe, which is symphony music.
I've seen that video, yes.
Yep, great video. And he discusses and explains how in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the music is just blah. It's just, it's just generic. And
it's so generic, it's very unrecognizable. It's by the books, yeah.
And he goes briefly into the fact that a lot of the tunes are just like the same as other music with different, or like from different soundtrack bits from different movies, but like with a slight twist and change to it. So that's a great video. I will link that in the description. Shownotes. I keep calling it either or. I don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call it the show notes because it sounds cooler when you're doing an audio podcast. So, copyright. I think it
Ooh.
should exist. It's a
No,
very
I'm
good
glad
thing.
It does.
I'm glad it exists. And I'm glad that I don't know. I think the whole entire copyright system is very well planned out, at least for the US. I don't know how other countries handle copyright. I know that like China and most Asian countries do not have copyright at all. And it seems to work just fine there, but they also have different laws that
We'll have to do our research and to maybe talk about that again in another episode.
perhaps, yes. The next topic that we have is YouTube Red. So
Ooh.
YouTube Red has definitely evolved since it started. Actually, it's really the same thing, but it offers so much more than it did before. Like, okay, so when it started out, it was like ad free. That's great. Ad free is wonderful. It's great. You can have ad free and stuff. And there was like one show like the Scare PewDiePie. Have you seen that show at all?
Yeah, bits.
Yeah, I watched like the first episode when it was free for everyone. It's actually not that great. I don't know. I didn't like it. But we had that and ad free, and then there's like 2 other movies made by different YouTubers which weren't that great, I've heard. But since then, there's been multiple shows that are actually pretty good. I watched. Do you watch Vsauce?
Yes, I saw the free episode of Mindfield, and it
Yes.
looked really great.
It's really good. I watched the first episode, I mean. So if you want to watch the first episode, it's free for anybody to watch. Link in the description. So go watch it. I would highly suggest it. It's like 40 minutes. It's pretty long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's by Vsauce, and it's really cool. I learned a lot of stuff from it. So highly suggest that. But in regards to how people get, like, creators get paid from YouTube Red, do you know how that works?
Yes. Basically, what happens is you pay, the $5 to be
It's $10
in
a month.
YouTube Red. Or sorry, is it $7 now?
It's
Sorry.
$10 a month.
$10.
$10 a month. It's always been $10 a month.
Sorry, I am obviously not paying attention.
Yeah,
$10 a month you pay to be in YouTube Red.
Uh-huh.
And then whichever whatever you watch, that money is distributed, accordingly to whoever you watched the most of, the least of, stuff like that. And then any other videos that you watched, just to get rid of the ads, the money goes there. If you watch shows, it goes directly there, It exactly how you'd expect it to work. It goes directly to the creators and the budget for the show, or to get rid of the ads, or whatever it is that you're paying to get, basically.
Do you know what's funny? Okay, so what you just said was incorrect.
No?
So,
okay, if you know how it works, go ahead.
well, I was asking you because I've heard how it works, and it seems like a pretty good system, but I don't know. You've explained it differently. So one of us is going to be right, and one of us is going to be wrong.
I'm definitely wrong then.
Okay.
Because
The way that I've heard is you pay your $10 a month, and then all of the money from YouTube Red is gathered into this like giant pool of money. Like, oh, look at all this money just swimming around in this pool. And so you get rid of the ads, of course, because that's YouTube Red. And then from the total watch time, there's also this big pool. And then the money gets distributed throughout all of the creators depending on how much watch time you get. So that's what it's by watch time of your videos, which that's do you think that's a good system?
No, I don't. I don't like watch time, because the way watch time gets people paid is broken, because some things naturally get way more watch time than others.
CGP Grey just did a really good video about making money on YouTube, and he did a footnote about YouTube Red and how that money is made.
Yes, okay. The way you explained it is right. Sorry. You're definitely right.
Yes. Look at me. I'm being right. I love it when I'm right.
Don't like that system.
You don't? Okay.
I don't know who told me how I did, but now I seem like an idiot who's just making stuff up.
Do you want me to cut it out? Because I
Which
can.
I'm not. No. I want you to keep it in. Because
Okay.
I want to discuss that I think watch time is a bad system. Because when you compare a Let's Play to, say, something more artistic, like somebody's thesis short film or an animation or something like that, you know, you understand.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why I'm such a big supporter of Patreon.
Patreon. Support us. That was I'm surprised at how in sync that was.
How well I was able to coordinate that and segue right back into give us your money.
Give us your money. How about that's our thing? So we are still striving to find a thing. I don't think we even need a thing.
No, but the title of this podcast should be give us your money.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be give us your money.
Because I don't know what else to call it. I want it to be give us your money.
It's going to be give us your money now, punk. Okay, that's too long. That won't get any clicks.
That's too long.
That's too long.
Don't need the punk.
No punk. We don't need right now. We don't need punk. Just get rid of all of that. So, yeah, if you are interested in those videos about making money on YouTube and how YouTube Red gives money to creators, links in the show notes, and you can go watch that. It's by CG Gray, which is the host of my favorite podcast that I've discussed, Hello Internet. So that's actually how I learned about this first, YouTube Red, and how the money is distributed is through the podcast Hello Internet, which is a great podcast. On our final note, would you suggest getting YouTube Red, yes or no?
I'm going to say if YouTube is your primary thing that you use to watch things and you have 2 or more shows that you want to watch on YouTube Red, definitely. It is worth your money. It is good to support the creators. Mm-hmm. If you don't apply to either of those things, don't.
Yeah.
You will probably be wasting your money.
Yeah. In addition to that, I would also suggest it if you spend a lot of time on YouTube. Like if you watch quite a bit, at least 2 hours of YouTube a day, then just, you know how they have like those unskippable 5-second bits at the beginning of the ad and you can skip sometimes. 5-second ads will add up over time to equal hours of your life spent and wasted away. So if you really think I think it's worth it just to skip the ads and to pay or to support your creators. Because I think most people get more money from YouTube Red. Most creators.
Yes.
So I think it's a great system, and I would highly suggest it. Moving on to our next topic, film and films. And then in the show notes, I said, yes, there is a difference, Tendo. And then he says, fight me, Noah. But so when I say film and films, when I say film, I think film as a whole, as like,
or as a medium.
As a medium, thank you. I was thinking like a society, but that's not the right word.
No.
Thank you for... Okay. So, how do you like film?
Here's what I'm going to say. I like film, certainly more than I like television shows, and that's biased because I kind of have been weaned from television shows for the last, 7 years. But, yeah, I like films. I am going to say I'm a little too much of a sucker for indie films and psychological stuff or surreal enough. Sorry, goodness. I don't know what I'm saying. Surrealness. Any film that has those aspects, I love to death. But that's not to say I can't ironically or as a guilty pleasure enjoy the casual blockbuster here and there. But I wouldn't say I'm a fanatic. I know a lot of people in real life that certainly know more about it than me. But I mean, yeah, I enjoy film.
Nice. Do you have a specific genre that you like, or?
I would say that I like the abstract or the the psychological, but I haven't watched enough to say that I'm a fan of that. I just have a certain 3 or 4 in my head that I know I really enjoy. So I'm not experienced enough to say that there's a genre I like more, but I don't know.
Fair enough. And do you watch many short films, like on YouTube, or do you just like? Sometimes I go through a phase where I just like find a bunch of short films and just binge watch them because I enjoy watching up and coming creators making their short films because a lot of them are really good.
I used to do that. I did that last year. I have forgotten it, and now that you mention it, I want to do it again. I do it a lot for. I used to do it a lot for animation stuff because obviously it's interesting to see what a bunch of college students get together and make in a year or whatever. But yeah, no, I totally should do that. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah. So there are some short films that I love so much. So if you they're all on YouTube. If you want to see those, I will have a playlist in the show notes of a bunch of my favorites. Go check them out. They're great. I can't think of all the titles right now, but they will be in there. And if Tendo, by the time this comes out, if you have any, we can place them in there too. So yeah. So go watch those. They're great. I'm gonna say that some of mine have some swearing, so if you have troubles with that, I don't know, just be wary because it's a short film. Indie films often have swearing for some reason. I don't know why, because they don't more than not. They don't add much to the plot, if anything. So we discussed that in episode 2. Go listen to that if you'd like. I love film. I think that's clear to anyone who knows me, because especially in my online presence, because when I see a short film that I really like, I share it on the internet because I want everyone else to watch it because it's great. I've shared a few on Twitter, so if you follow me on Twitter, then you might have seen some of them already. But before, I think episode 2, man, we're referring to episode 2 a lot, and by we I mean me. I discussed the fact that I want to be a director potentially, and I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I want to make films or help with films. I'm thinking about being an editor in film because editing is where I feel safe.
It is a key
and happy.
part.
It's a great place to be when I'm editing a video. But as an industry and as a medium, film is something that I connect with, and things that I like. When I watch a movie, I try to pick things out, and I get really invested when it's a good movie, and that's when I like the movie. So, are there any what do you, if you had to pick 5 favorite movies or movies that you just really like that you can think of right now? What are some of those?
Straight up, wow, I just forgot the name. Oh, Swiss Army Man.
Oh, I have not seen that yet.
I love that movie so much. What
That's
else?
an indie film, if you didn't know. So.
Yeah. It's a great film. What else? As I said, I haven't seen enough really good stuff of that genre, but the movie Her was really good. I saw that.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that either, but I wanted to. I want to see it soon.
I only recently actually saw Inception, which makes me sound really stupid.
I just recently rewatched Inception.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great time.
Great film.
What else?
It's not the best film, but it's pretty trippy, and I would highly suggest watching it because it's a pretty great experience. Inception.
As far as movies that I'm not that aren't that artistic or special, but I my I guess guilty pleasure films would be the Jurassic Park movies.
Those are really good movies.
Actually,
the first one's really good. I haven't seen any of the others except for Jurassic World, which isn't that great, but.
And The Incredibles.
I just recently rewatched that one too. It's so good. If you haven't seen The Incredibles, it's legitimately really good.
goodness, that's an amazing movie.
Love that movie. Second one's coming out next year, so that's exciting.
What else? I think that's all I could think of right off the top of my head. I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of the Star Wars franchise. Uh, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I bet you I have a list sitting somewhere of my favorite movies, but I can't. Those are all I can think of right off the top of my head.
Fair enough. That's a good list, and I appreciate all of them. So, dang it, I have a text document someplace. It's not a spreadsheet that actually has all of my favorite movies in it.
Gotta sort through my hundreds of spreadsheets.
Oh, it's right here. I found it. Okay, so, have you ever seen Moonrise Kingdom?
Yes. Is that the one with the Boy Scouts and they run away?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is that one of your favorite films?
That's my sixth favorite film.
I watched that 3 years. I watched it right around when I was starting the channel, and it made me. I remember at the time when I watched it, it made me extremely uncomfortable, and I have a lot of negative emotions linked to it. So I bet you if I watched it now that I have an appreciation for art and filmmaking, I might enjoy it. But from when I watched it, when it like first came out, you could check me on this. It was a bad experience. It was not a good time. I think I watched it with a few family members, and it wasn't fun. But
yeah, there are some parts that I would agree are kind of uncomfortable. But there's also, I don't know, that the movie is very great. And it's Wes Anderson, and Wes Anderson's films are so good. I've only seen that one and one other. I've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is also on my top 10 list.
Yes.
That's a great film too. Sorry.
Mind
what?
if I break in for 1 second? I remember the other things I was thinking of.
Okay, go for it.
Miyazaki films.
Yes.
Studio Ghibli, like just hands
I thought it was
down.
pronounced Ghibli.
Ghibli, sorry, Ghibli.
Well, I don't
probably
know.
Pronounced his name wrong. No, it is Ghibli.
Oh, okay, okay.
I will mispronounce every single name of all of the films I have seen, and the studio's name and his name, but I love just about all of them. There's a few obviously that I like more than others, and I think most people feel that way, but just wanted to throw that in there. Wonderful films.
Yeah, I've heard very good things about those films. I've only seen one full all the way through, and that was Kiki's Delivery Service, and it wasn't that great.
Oh, I actually have not even heard of that one.
Really?
There are quite a few, so I guess
there are a lot. But I haven't seen like any of them. I watched Castle in the Sky a long time ago. Howl's Moving Castle a long time ago, so I don't even remember those, but I have seen them. But I don't remember like anything except for one of the movies had like moving like giant statues, like stone statues that are kind of like robots but not. They might have just been robots. I don't remember. But I remember that being a good movie. And I watched the first 26 minutes of Princess Mononoke, which is a good film. From what I've seen of it.
I've seen the whole of that one. I really enjoyed that one. The one that most the general audiences all enjoy is Spirited Away. So viewer and you give it a look-see sometime if you want a good adventurous time.
A good time, and don't mistake it for anime because it's not. As many people will correct
it
you.
is, but
as
let's
many
not
people
get into that discussion.
Yeah. That's what I'm just saying. Be wary of people who actually care a lot about these films.
If you're passing it off as ew anime, then you probably shouldn't watch it because you probably aren't very open-minded, and it's not. Yeah, never mind. Just watch the film. Don't even worry about it.
I have friends that love anime and they love Studio Ghibli films, and they will fight you for saying that Studio Ghibli is anime. I still think it is, but don't tell someone who likes Studio Ghibli that, because they will kill your family. Kill you, your family, and your dog 3 times.
Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have people like that too.
Yes. Okay, so I have this list of top 10 films. However, it's pretty outdated, and I don't like a lot of the movies on here, so I'm not gonna read all of them. But a movie that's a pretty old movie. It's called Alien. Have you ever seen Alien?
I have. That is one of the very few horror movies I've seen. Or
Yeah,
any
same actually.
thriller or just any of those movies. It's not that I dislike them or I don't want to. It's just for whatever reason I've never there's never been a point in my life where I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to go watch a horror movie." But I have seen that one and I I don't know. I enjoyed it.
hmm My opinion on horror movies is the fact that most of them, if not all of them, actually definitely not all of them, are tasteless and are just made to get money, and that annoys me because I dislike
Yes.
things like that. That's why I dislike, or it makes me sad when people make YouTube videos to make money. So it's the same reason. So that's why I don't want to support horror movies. However, the movie Alien, I wouldn't really classify as horror, like explicitly. I think I'd say
Right.
that Alien is a sci-fi thriller,
Yes, that's what
and
it is.
it is a very, very good film, and I really like it. I haven't seen it in a while. I watched it last year for the first time, and oh my wow, it's really good. I also watched the second one, also good, but not as good as the first one in my opinion. Okay, what were you gonna say?
I forgot about what the other movie was that I was thinking
Oh
of. I
man.
told you there's so many movies I was thinking of.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure everyone's seen this and they're probably like, old news, boo, get off the stage, Tendo, but I love Fight Club.
I still
I
haven't
love
seen it.
I love Fight Club with a fiery passion. I don't care if it's generic to like it. It is like I love it so much.
That's
It is
that's my friend's favorite movie, and I
probably
still
my
haven't
favorite
seen it,
movie.
and I need to watch it. I need to see Fight Club.
Go watch it and don't talk about it.
That's the first rule, and the second
First rule of Fight Club.
don't talk about Fight Club.
That's why I didn't mention it at first, because I was following the first rule, but you pushed
Yeah.
me to the edge and I just had to mention it.
Do you know that the author of the Fight Club book actually likes the movie more than the book?
I
So,
believe that because the way it's shot and the way the dialogue is done and narration and whatnot is very specific to film. I don't think it could be replicated in a book.
which is ironic, seeing as it started as a book. But yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard very good things about Fight Club. I still haven't seen it, but I definitely want to sometime. Um, now going on the complete other end of the spectrum of this movie filled of violence and vulgar language, we have a movie called Babe. Have you ever seen Babe?
I hold on. It sounds familiar.
It's the one about
Let
a
me
talking
see.
pig.
Okay. No, I actually haven't.
Oh man, this movie is genuinely great. It's not like super artistic or intense or
But like it's a cute movie from your childhood?
no. I recently watched it and I loved it.
Oh, okay, cuz it looks familiar, but like I've never seen it. It just looks like something I'd watch when I was little and then forget about.
Yeah, fair enough. I would agree that when you were a child, this is a pretty. It's a movie that's okay for children, but I think it's an adult movie. To be honest, it's really
Well,
cute.
see, I haven't seen it.
and it's
Sorry, it was just
filled
an
with
assumption.
animals. However, the humor is really, really good. Like not throughout, but it's not like stupid childish humor. It's really well developed humor. I don't know. I love that movie so much, and it has some pretty great quotes. That I'm not gonna quote because you'll just be lost. So, if you wanna if you want a movie that's great and you will watch with the whole family, watch Babe. And I would
I'll
not
watch that
suggest
sometime.
watching Fight Club with the whole family. But hey, what do I know?
Do it. Watch what happens.
I have a friend of mine. I promised that we're the first time I ever see that movie, we're gonna watch it together. So that's one reason why I also haven't seen it yet, because we haven't gotten around to it. Then another movie that this one is immensely cliched, as like, oh, it's a great movie, Citizen Kane. Have you ever seen Citizen Kane?
Yes.
Yes.
And I fell asleep. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
No, the concept, and And as far as, how it was made for the time, I think it's commendable. But as far as, like, raw, genuine enjoyment I got from it, and once again, this was a movie I watched years ago.
That's understandable. That's fine.
With the person that showed it to me was the age I am now, though. So, like, it makes sense. I would probably enjoy it and appreciate it now. But I didn't at the time very much, at least.
I think I might be biased because I know how much it's affected the medium of film as a whole. But I don't know. When I was watching it, it was very entertaining to me. And there were so many okay, something that I love in films is symbolism and like what's not like metaphor, actually symbolism. It's that's what I mean. Symbolism. So if like there's a movie, I can't think of what it's called. It's like all black and white. It was also a book, The Giver, I think it's called. I still haven't read the book, but apparently in that book, it has this scene about sliding down a hill, and they associate that with happiness. And so I like it when films and stories take a symbol and connect it to something else, and then they hint at it. I like things that are implied in film because it makes me feel smarter.
You will probably very much enjoy, in that case, some of the movies I've suggested to you, because I like that too. I don't like when it gives it to you and you have to think about things. Also, great reason why Fight Club is a great movie.
Yeah, like I will definitely watch it sometime. And I think I'll talk about one more film on my list.
Hold up, just a second. I have seen Babe.
You have seen Babe?
Yes, I've been looking through images of Google. There is 2 scenes that I remember vividly in my head and actually show up in a lot of my dreams. Besides that,
kind of weird. Actually,
don't remember a ton of it.
They show up in your dreams.
You know what I'm talking about. There's certain parts in your life or a certain scene in a movie when you're little that sticks out in your mind, and then it shows up in your dreams. Please tell me that's not just me.
That's definitely not just you, but it's not me. So, yeah, no, that's never happened to me. I don't think.
Strange.
However, there are times where there's scenes from a dream that have stuck with me to today. I don't know if that's the same thing, but...
Well, no, I'm not just talking about, like, stick with you, but, like, you might not even remember what the movie was. It just, for whatever reason, it sticks in your memory.
Yeah, that's true for me, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a dream about it.
Okay, never mind then.
That's fine. It's fine. You're not weird, Tendo. Trust me. Okay, and I'll talk about one more film very briefly. Hunt for the Wilder People. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. I saw your video on it, and it
Tendo
made me want to see it, but I have not.
Tendo, I have an entire video about it, saying how great it is. Why haven't you seen it? My gosh, you need to go see it. Speaking of which, that video that I made, link in the show notes. Go watch it. It expresses my opinion about this movie. I love it so much. And it is a genuinely great film. I've seen it 4 times, which, in hindsight, that isn't actually that many. But it's a movie that you can rewatch and quote, which I think is important to have as a favorite movie. Go watch it. Support us on Patreon. And so, okay, let's do this last subject, and then we can round this off. It's a similar subject to films. It is TV shows. You said earlier in the podcast, in this episode, that you have bias toward film because you were, quote-unquote, weaned.
It was my choice, too, but
oh, really? So you weren't really weaned. You were just...
Well, in a way. There was, I believe, a 6-month segment where TV wasn't available to me. But even before then, I had kind of stopped for a while. But now, after that, I just kind of stopped completely because hear out my philosophy.
Okay.
And most of my philosophy for stuff like this is just an excuse. It doesn't actually really hold up to anything. But like a film, you can watch a single one and be finished with unless it's a sequel. Television shows, a lot of the reason why I haven't jumped back in is because of the amount of time commitment you have.
Mhm.
I have watched through an entire like show, like all the seasons, quote unquote binged it. I have done that once ever, and I I probably would never do it again. I don't know. It's just not appealing to take up that much time and get so invested in any form of entertainment, like by yourself at least. I can understand if maybe you have a group that you can talk to with about it, or you watch it together, but like otherwise I think television is a huge time eater. And
Hmm.
if you're not watching a specific show because you enjoyed it, but you just watch television casually, like a channel, um I'm not really of that mentality either, because I am very manipulative of my time, and I don't just like pop something on and be like, okay, entertain me. I'm like, this is the time where I'm going to watch this specific thing on YouTube, or listen to this thing on this website. It's not a thing for me, is all I'm gonna say, really, I guess.
Hmm. So if you, hypothetically speaking, if you had more time, would you, like, if you literally had 28 hours in a day, would you spend like a couple of hours like watching TV? If you had enough time to, do you think you would? Because I know you say it doesn't really appeal to you because it's such a time sink, which I can absolutely get behind. I can agree with that.
Maybe I would probably watch a single episode a day, because I also don't really watch films by myself either.
Hmm.
Basically just any form of entertainment on my own, I get really bored of, because I
Hmm.
like discussing things with people, and I also get like really lonely easily. So if I get bored of anything, I just kind of like, okay, I'm done with this. Time to go, do something with people. Like the one thing I prefer to do alone for long periods of time is like animation, like working on my YouTube hobby. I like that show that I binged that with another person, and that's what made it fun, is because we talked about it through the whole time. But like,
Hmm.
it's probably just has to do with like the way I was raised, or the way I'm wired. But like, I don't really enjoy watching things by myself.
Yeah, I used to not like watching things by myself until I spent time on YouTube, and then I started being I started enjoying watching things by myself a little more. When I'm watching movies, I like watching movies by myself. I've recently discovered,
Mm-hmm.
because it allows me to get a lot more invested into the film. Depending on what type of film it is, I like to watch it by myself. But in the realm of TV shows, binge watching, I've done that once, as we actually talked about on episode 2, as we've been referring to.
Right.
Uh, I binge watched one season of of a TV show. It was a horrible experience, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. I once had an event at my house where we watched all 3 of the Back to the Future films uh, in one day. That was also pretty bad, even though it was spread out. I don't know. I've discovered I hate binge watching things.
It's painful. I
It's
well, the
painful.
other thing is I get really bad like migraines if I look at a screen for long periods of time. One time I think I was at someone's house, we watched the extended cut of one of the Lord of the Rings movies, and like I
Only
had to
one of them?
leave. I don't
Or
know.
like all of them?
I got, maybe it was of The Hobbit, or something of all of them. Anyway,
Okay, fair
all
enough.
I know is it lasted 6 hours long, and after 4 hours, I had to leave and like give myself a break,
Hmm.
because my eyes, like my head behind my eyes, hurt so bad. And like I remember, I know someone who watched. They tried to watch all the Star Wars back to back,
All,
because
oh my gosh, all
they were
6
gonna
of them?
watch. No, well, just
Okay.
the
Oh,
originals.
thank
But they
goodness.
were
I was
they were
like,
gonna
wow.
go watch The Force Awakens, because that's when it was coming out, and there were
Hmm.
some people who hadn't seen it. I know a lot of people that have done this, so they watched the originals, and I tried to sit through with them, but like, you can enjoy a movie a lot, but once you get like 2 hours in, your brain needs more stimulation. Like it gets difficult.
Yeah, I've definitely watched movies that are like that. We're definitely different people when it comes to social interaction,
Certainly.
and tastes and preferences for how to watch films and TV shows. So I was gonna ask if there was any TV shows that you had seen and how you liked them, but based on what you've said, you seem to dislike TV
No,
shows.
no, no.
So
There's a lot of shows that I can name right off the top of my head that I've heard about that I would love to watch. Black Mirror, The Twilight Zone. There's a few internet shows like either YouTube Red or some other form that I've heard about that I want to watch. Like as we talked about, Mindfield, Rick and Morty. That is a TV show. I haven't watched every single episode, but I know the plot, and as of recently, I've been keeping up with every episode. That show is
Rick and Morty is
really special.
Wonderful show.
I love that.
So good. Have you seen the new episode? Season 3, episode 1?
3 times.
I've seen it 3 times as well.
It's so good.
It's really good. I think it's definitely one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
So that's a little Rick and Morty tangent for you guys, for all those people who like Rick and Morty. And if you haven't seen Rick and Morty, go watch it. Literally all of them are on dailymotion.com, which is like YouTube, but like not YouTube, because they have less lax with copyright things. So all episodes of Adventure Time are on Dailymotion. All Adventures of Rick and Morty. Adventure Time is also a great show. Not as good as Rick and Morty, in my opinion. But if you have time to watch a show, watch Rick and Morty, because it's really good, and all the episodes are 20 minutes long, so they're really short. So the whole season is pretty short. So I would highly suggest going and watching Rick and Morty.
100%. But only if you're a mature person. If you're younger than the age of, I'd say 14, maybe.
It's rated TV 14, so I guess.
Right. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess in regards to anything we've talked about today, I would not suggest watching any of them if you're under the age of 13 or 12. I don't know.
Unless you're cool. If you're cool, do it.
Yeah, if you're cool, you'll do all of the things.
Because that was my psychology when I was that age.
That's weird. I actually no. I don't know. You're public schooled. I don't know how that affects things. Because I'm homeschooled and I never thought that way. But that's because I didn't have friends.
Not for movies, but like for YouTube. All the time I would watch things that they weren't like bad. Like it wasn't like themes that would be traumatic or like heavily inappropriate, but just like things that I didn't understand yet.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought, and I was just bored, at the time. But never mind. I could probably go into depth about it, and you'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, I did that too." It's like simple stuff.
Yes. So all of the things that we've discussed, I would suggest watching for people that are older and can handle that kind of stuff. But not all of them. Definitely Babe. Watch Babe, no matter how old you are. Definitely. You might not enjoy it if you're younger, but
you can watch Spirited Away. That's
you can watch like all of the Studio Ghibli films,
except for there's
Princess Mononoke is pretty bloody, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah, I was gonna say Princess Mononoke is a little
little gory
sometimes.
But yeah, are there any shows or any other shows that you like?
Yeah,
I
wanted to mention one more thing on this topic.
Okay, one more thing.
I'm embarrassed because the one show I've binged, the one that I've seen all, I believe, 4 seasons of, is a little show called My Name is Earl. I don't know why. Okay, like, I was littler, and some friends introduced me to it. And when I was at their house, I watched like the first season. And so when I returned, for me and some other people decided the best idea would to be just for 3 days straight, do nothing but watch the rest of the show. And it was good. I mean, it was a good show. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it. Would I go back and watch any of them again? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I've seen that on. I've seen the thumbnail on Netflix, but I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about.
I
But
mean, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not anything special.
not anything special. Fair enough. Yeah. So the one show that you watched was like a silly show that you watched just that for the heck of it.
Silly, harmless, didn't get too invested.
Hmm. On the other spectrum, my favorite TV show is Breaking Bad.
Oh, I have a lot of friends that have binged that.
Yeah, that's because it's amazing.
So I've heard.
So I'd say you should watch it, but I'm not going to suggest you watch it because you don't like watching TV shows. But yeah, so Breaking Bad is really good. It's I don't know, it's really really well written, and the cinematography behind it is really great. So I don't know,
Yes.
Rick and Morty, Breaking Bad, great shows for older younger people, 14 and up. I would suggest watching those shows.
Yes.
So I think that concludes the 4th episode of our podcast.
I think so.
Don't forget to support us on Patreon,
Give
everyone.
us your money.
Give us all of your money, and you'll hear us in the next episode. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Give us your money.